Peace, everyone. I just thought I'd share this book with you real quick. I've just finished reading it. It's called A Reading Diary, A Year of Favourite Books by Alberto Manguel, or Manguel, however they pronounce it in the Spanish. I think it's Manuel, because there's no G's, is there, or J phonetics in Spanish. But regardless, this year I've really enjoyed reading this book. I was pleasantly surprised because I don't normally read books like this. I'm normally one for like historical books, and current affairs, stuff like that, factual books. I want to know the mathematics of the world and how it operates and that type of thing. But recently I've been getting into my fiction, a little bit of escapism. And you know what? It's quite liberating. I'm quite happy I've gotten to reading fiction. I used to read fiction a lot as a kid. All them Fab Four, was it? When we used to read as children from school, or Fantastic Four, whatever it was. But yeah, I thought, let me read one of these like fiction books for once. Something different to exercise the imagination. Since it's one of our disciplines, isn't it? Imagination of the mind. One of the disciplines. I think, according to the psychological symbology of the 12 disciples, I think it's what disciple is it again? It's not Nathaniel, is it? Is he even a disciple, Nathaniel? I forgot which one it is. There's a disciple anyway. I'll have to go into it again. There's a disciple, one of the 12 disciples that followed Jesus around, Jesus the ruler, as in the consciousness of self. In the Bible story, one of the disciples represents imagination. This is the disciple that Jesus first met underneath the tree. And I forgot what tree it was, but it's a specific tree that grows. And the tree, the name of the tree, the genus of the tree was chosen because this particular tree grows, and it's like the shape of it is rather like the shape of a human brain. And that's why they chose that specific tree. I forgot the name of the tree as well. Oh God, I'm not doing too bloody well, am I? But yeah, so, that psychological symbolism of the 12 disciples and Jesus, one of them's imagination. So yeah, sorry about that. I'm banging on and blabbing on. So yeah, it's good. It's good to exercise the imagination. So yeah, been getting into fiction. So I think I got this this novelist's name from another book I was reading. It was highly recommended, so I looked him up, looked at some of his works and stuff, and I thought, yeah, let me get some of his books because it sounds really good. So I started with this one because it was kind of like a journal as well. And I thought to myself, a journal, that ain't going to be very good, is it? It's going to be quite boring. But you know what? I'm glad I bought it. I was pleasantly surprised. It was really, really a joy to read. This really was. So basically, it's like is journaling what he was doing over a summer. I think it's like about 20 years ago, something like that. I can't remember the dates in it, but it's over a summer period, and he's traveling because this novelist, Alberto Manguel, is a well-traveled guy, and he's lived in numerous countries and obviously can speak a few languages and stuff. He's from Argentina, and if I can remember rightly, I think he stayed with another famous Argentinian novelist, if I'm not mistaken. Something Bioy. Bioy. Another master in fiction. I've obviously mastered your pronunciation up because I can't speak Spanish. But yet again, I've bought some of his books as well because they sound really interesting. But anyway, it's over summer period, and it's structured like it's a little bit haphazard because it's like there's a paragraph where he'll like describe what he's seeing through the window on a train ride across to wherever it is he's going, across France or whatever, and he'll describe the scenery and whatever, and then in the next paragraph he'll come out with something from a particular book that prompted his memory from what he was seeing from out of the train on the train journey. So it kind of like it shifts from reality to the books that he's reading and then to other memories. So it's like it's a bit of a mishmash of what he's seeing, his memories, and then we'll mention other authors of the books he's reading, then other authors of books, other books that he's read that aren't actually a part of his reading list in here. And it'll just, he'll skip from here, there, and everywhere type thing, but it's brilliant how it all works out, if you get what I mean. It all builds up a lovely picture of the overall book that he's reading at the time. It all makes sense, as it were. It's a it's a brilliant book. It made me wanting more type of books like it, and some of his recommendations that he shares with you that are very similar to the style of this particular book here. He shares with you anyway, so obviously I put a load of them in my Amazon basket. But yeah, I love it. I love this style, this journal style, this reminiscing style of his own life all mixed in together. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant book. I can't recommend this enough. So it's a book for book lovers, people who love fiction, who love symbology, who love to dive deep into the book, what the author was thinking at the time of writing it, what was he going through, and the sheer genius of some of these authors. It's brilliant. I've got a newfound respect for writers of fiction, I must say. Brilliant book. It only cost me a couple of quid as well on Amazon, So if you search around on Amazon to some of the other sellers and stuff, you get good bargains most of the time. So yeah, reading diary, a year of favourite books. It's opened my mind as well. It's expanded my reading genre, because there's loads of other genres that I didn't think I'd really get into, to be quite honest. Like detective books and horror stories and stuff like that. I wasn't really moved by them, but when he explains the storylines and the thought behind some of these books, you know, it really is intriguing. It really does pull you in. So yeah, I bought most of his books from his list, and he puts quite a few lists in here as well of other books that aren't in the chapters. So you know, there's a wide scope that he shares with you. Like for instance, one of the books that he covers in here is you know what? Let me go to the what do you call it? The table. Forgot the name of it. Where are we? Yeah, childhood classic, The Wind in the Willows. I remember watching that little puppet cartoon type thing as a kid, but it never really got me. You know, I'm never going to buy the book, but the way he described some of the scenes in the book and how it mirrored aspects of life being caricatured by the you know, the anthropomorphic characters in the book, the animals. It gives you a view that you never had before. It's like, you know, I think to myself, I've never thought of it that way before. So I've even bought that. I've even bought that book, you know. But look at it this way, if it's good enough for someone who's a genius like this guy, then it's good enough for me. He sees something deep in it. He's shared it with you. And it's like, it's picked up on something that I would never have picked up on. You know, so it's always good to hang around with people that are smarter than you because they'll see things that you don't see. You know, so I've hanged around with Alberto for a couple of weeks, even though not physically, but, you know, mentally with his book. That's why it's great to read. It's great to read. It expands your mind. You know, sharing thoughts with great minds. So yeah, a reading diary, a year of favourite books by Alberto Manguel. Yeah, go and get it, man. Can't recommend it enough. So yeah, I thought I'd share that with you while it's still fresh in my mind because I've just finished it. It's one of them books you can't put down as well. It's such a joy.